Hello there, and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic. This time taking a look at the 1997 Dodge Concept Car LM Edition, also known as the Copperhead. That's the real life name of this car, but they couldn't use that name because apparently it was copyrighted or something. This car was requested by Thunder, and it's one of the most popular cars in the game, or at least it was in the first Gran Turismo. It sort of dropped off a little bit in this game, but essentially, for those of you who don't know what the Copperhead was, it was Chrysler's attempt at making a sort of cheaper, more affordable, lower powered version of the Viper. It uses a 6-cylinder, I believe. Of course, this version is all roided out. Front engine to rear-wheel drive, 526 horsepower, 900 kilos of weight, a really healthy amount of torque. Should be interesting to see how this gets on. To find out how it does get on, it is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is a Suzuki Scuderia Pikes Peak Edition that was at a time of 27.710. The Copperhead is unlikely to beat that, but again, I'm curious to see what this car's going to do. I'm expecting very quick in a straight line, not very quick at much out. The Team Eureka Viper, I believe, sits with a 31 point something or other, so I guess it'll be interesting to see if this can beat the Eureka. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me if it did, considering it is less powerful and lighter, which is good for this course. But at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if it didn't, because the Eureka had 700 horsepower, and this, okay, it might have already beaten it, oops. Yeah, I can't remember what time. Maybe the Eureka was like a 30 point something. I don't remember. I spoke about not remembering lap times before. I also like how, at least to me personally, this car looks like it has the most detailed rear lights in the entire game. And then you sort of look at the window pillars and they look a little bit wonky. I don't know if the real life car was like that. I haven't really looked at the real life Copperhead too much. I can tell you it's not a very pretty car. You can sort of probably tell by the fact that that front end looks like that. Yeah, I think it was sort of shown off the same year as the Plymouth Prowler would be. Of course, the Prowler would go on to be made and ridiculed, and the Copperhead would be quietly discontinued. The Copperhead name did come back, though, for another Chrysler concept car. In 2005, they launched the Copperhead bike, or rather showed off the Copperhead bike, which was a bike with a Viper V10 in it. And I hate bikes. I really hate bikes, because I'm not interested in anything that doesn't have 4 wheels, unless it's got 3 wheels. Sometimes they're cool. And also Euro Truck Simulator. I mean, 18 wheels are cool. But, yeah, not really interested in bikes, but I've got to admit, a bike with a Viper V10, I'd kind of like to ride that. I mean, I'd probably, like, kill instantly. I'd probably die instantly if I rode a normal bike, but, yeah, especially one like that. Also, hopefully this is not a Lotus situation where the first lap is the quickest. I'm going to have to try and take it careful. It has the same issue that those Vipers which I mentioned has, where it sort of just snaps. It doesn't really give you much warning if the rear end is going to go round or not. It just sort of does. You have to be careful of the bumps because it's very low and it's a race car, which is not ideal. As you can sort of see through there, you know, it's letting go. I think the sort of thing with this car is to no sudden movements, do not act dumb, is the Copperhead LM's motto. As we're going to rush for the final lap, what can we do? That is the question. What can we do indeed? There we go. Get it civilized through those corners. Get it slightly uncivilized through that corner. I can hear the ghost, I just can't see the ghost because the ghost is louder than my actual car half the time. Alright. Come through it. And across the line, a 30.608 for the Copperhead concept car, LM, whatever you want to call it. 30.608, not a terrible time, and actually really very, very good time. It did really all come together for it on that final lap, but overall, it is quite a tricky car to drive around here. I don't know if I could actually replicate that lap, to be honest with you. I think it just got super lucky, but apparently, you know, through some sectors we were quicker, so that's interesting to know. Anyways, let's go see where it places on our leaderboard. On to the leaderboard then, and the Dodge Concept Car LM Edition, aka the Copperhead, goes into 46th place with a 30.608, beating out the Vector M12 LM Edition, Super Impreza Sedan WRX 98, the RX-7 A-Spec LM Edition, losing out to the Ford Focus Gear, Volkswagen New Beetle, and Subaru Forester S Turbo. Pretty good time from the concept car, considering I didn't really have much faith in it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Hot Lap Classic. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, farewell.